Yes. Yes. Okay, the sound is in, I guess. Wait, let me check. Let me check. Yes. Okay, the sound is in, I guess. Wait, let me check. Let me check. Okay, this should be okay. Yes, let me check the sound again. Okay, this should be okay. Yes, let me check the sound again. Okay, this should be okay. Yes, let me check. Okay. Okay. Sound is alright. Sound is alright. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, let's like this first, and then um 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 like this. Wait, where is it? Where is Valeria? God, she's so pretty. Oh. So yeah, let's upgrade her ascension. Let's go. Oh yeah, before that, I do want to discuss about this one first. Let's see if it is it here. Esper balance. Yeah. We're gonna discuss about the Esper balance first. So, hi, welcome to the stream, Super Sana. My guy, they brought Trevor, yo. Yeah, I heard that. Wait, let me grab my drinks first. So yeah, since this is outside the usual schedule, like not really usual schedule, like uh, don't really have that much balance changing. So this is going, I'm going to squeeze in some of this balance adjustment. So yeah, I'm gonna do this real quick. So all of you must have seen these balance changes. There probably was a couple of YouTubers. So I'm just gonna go through the important part. So Raven, the first ability, they changed it so that each speed grants extra damage 0.16% attack. It's not as big like usually the ones that have a speed has extra damage. They usually goes for 0.33 attack, and it goes up to 1%, which is the most important one is the 1% attack. So the ones that can make total use of the speed to give them extra damage is the one that can go up to 1% attack. So this is more of like a bonus, you know. So this is more of like a bonus. It won't increase Raven's damage that much until it is broken, but it does have some benefit because as Raven playstyle, she needs to move first in order for her to dispel the enemy's buffs and then gives defense down. So she needs to move first. That means that she definitely needs speed. So they want Raven to make use of those speed aside from just making her move first. And that MF cat does 450k plus new AoE on PR. Yeah, that's the overkill damage. I already like took this in how to say like visualize this because my friend Tamaki, he has never like he got before the balance change, he got a really bad luck with Trevor. Like his Simmer Legends keep giving him Trevor, and he was a little bit useless at that point in time. So he was like, uh, a little bit bummed out, you know. But right now he won the jackpot. So that's the thing, like when you play these kind of games who usually give balance changes, don't worry too much about your espers, like the espers that you have, the one that you keep getting duplicates for, is going to bound to be useful because the developer wants to make every single esper to be useful. It's in their blood. Like you can already see after playing the game for a year, you've already seen how they treat every single esper. Like they don't want to leave even a single esper to be totally useless. So that's why every single duplicate that you will get from your echo spins is going to be useful in another day, in some day. So yeah, the second ability, it changed the wait, it changed from active ability into passive. So now Raven performs a pursuit attack when enemies without buffs take a hit, triggers once per turn. So this is going to be really insane because she will attacks all enemies 2 times upon a pursuit. Damage per hit for 45% attacks, which is quite okay. Usually AoE will go around like plus minus 100%. So this is exactly just normal AoE. If an enemy is not buffed, deals extra damage 50% attack, so that just goes to 100% something attack on the AoE, and its speed grants extra damage too, and 0.08% attack, which is this is a little bit useless, but it's a bonus nonetheless. Its hit reduces the enemy's maximum HP capacity, reduce amount 100% damage. This is what makes this skill really good, like the HP capacity reduction. When an ally makes an enemy debuff, any enemy buff and early, this ability cooldown -1 turn. So because of this sentence here, that means that this passive has a cooldown. So it's not gonna be like every single time your allies attack the enemy, Raven gonna follow up with an AoE attack. It's not gonna be like that, but it's gonna have some cooldown. I expect this to be around like 3 turns or 4 turns. So you do need to pair Raven with other dispellers if you want to make use of her passive attack here, which is quite nice. Like it's an AoE that doesn't take Raven's turn, so you do need to want to make use of this one. Don't you think it's too much? Next patch, JYY buff Jin Yuyao or Jiang Julie Jin Yuyao. Yeah, I think JJY Jin Yuyao buff incoming, I guess. I don't think there's gonna be a buff for Jin Yuyao. Like if I compare it to some other game, like mainly Summoner's War, an esper like Jin Yuyao is mostly gonna be a mid tier. Like she is really good at removing everyone's debuffs, but in this game, in Dislyte, she is too much, because the way she removes her debuffs is that she herself cannot be disabled. So, Jiang Julie, okay. JJY is Jiang Julie. I don't know why there's a Y there. But if you mean Jiang Julie, then Jiang Julie buff, is it really confirmed? Like I think Jiang Julie right now is sitting at a really nice position. Like he's not too OP, he is not too weak, he is alright. Although he is easily countered, like a lot of espers, especially epic espers, can counter Jiang Julie. Like most of his counters are in the epic espers. So he is a Simmer legendary which can be countered by epic esper. So yeah, I mean if he is going to get a buff, then it's alright. But even if he doesn't get any buff, he is already alright as he is right now. I think he is like worst simmer now. Really? Like what are the other simmers? I think there should be an even worse simmer. Like maybe it's because everybody thinks that Tever was the worst simmer, and then now they buff Tever to be like the best simmer. But I think Gentili is not the worst simmer. You know, for me personally, the worst simmer is Efren. For me, yeah. Because for Jiangjuli's case, like even if you manage to disable him, like once he reaches a demon mode, like you can no longer disable him. And if you give him enough speed, like he will be really troublesome. Like he can one-shot someone, definitely. But for Everett's case, like as long as you don't hit him, he is useless. And if you manage to stun him, that's it. Nobody, like a lot of players, none of them give speed to Everett, so he moves really slow. So once you manage to stun him, that's it. Like he will get stunned for for eternity, you know. Like his R6 is never R0 now, man. Everett is way better than JJ. You know what, JJ can't even kill tanks. Well, this one is worse. Like this one can't even kill support. This one can't even kill support, you know. Like I have a lot of fair shares dealing with Everett, and also mostly because I have Intisar, which nobody ever tried to build her. And Intisar can one-shot Everett, but I cannot one-shot Jiangjulie with Intisar. You know, R4 tanks and he needs 100 CR. Wait, what? What is 100 CR? Different. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Jiangjuli's critical rate have problems. Like, because once he becomes a demon mode, like he lose all of his buffs, so he won't get that benefit of, like, you know, most of the time when you build your Esper, you will sit at 70% critical rate, because you usually get a critical rate buff from either like someone like Dahlia or someone else, then it's alright. But Jiangjulie, once he becomes demon mode, like he loses all his buffs and he doesn't get any benefit from the critical rate from his allies. And that's why skills like Gaius, who gives passive critical rate increase to his allies when he is at, I think, Resonance 2. Yeah, he gives passive critical rate to his allies. Is going to be really useful for someone like Jiangjulie. So it's just a matter of composition. You know, it's just a matter of who you pair Jiangjulie with, but he is much more troublesome than Everett, or in my opinion, for my case, because I play around with percentage HP damage, which not many players do that, and Everett is the easiest legendary I can kill with my lineup. You know, Everett signs in slow match, yes, definitely. That's why if you see Everett, like you do want to end the fight earlier, but still, like in slow match, if you have a controller, like one controller, just one controller, is enough to lock Everett until he die. You know, as long as you have one controller that can stun him, that's it. You know, even like no matter how long the battle's gonna take, he will die. Like there was a case when I only have Pritzker left in my lineup. Like it's 1v1, Pritzker versus Everett, and I win, even though it takes like 200 turns. You know. So that's the thing about Everett. But it's not gonna happen if I have Pritzker left and the enemy have one Jiangjulie. Like I definitely gonna die. So it's just a matter of, you know, perspective and lineup. Like here's the thing. Like people are going to build Espers based on the tier list, and that's why I always hate tier lists. Because with tier lists, people will have certain experts. Like you see, how many peoples are building expert like Mateo, for example, or Yun Chuan, or even Raven. Like none of them built them. But imagine like how many players build Abigail, how many players build Jin Yuyao, how many players build Sally. It's because people popularize Esper. Like when you see a lot of the meta going on, people are going to build more of those meta, and and the things that cannot be countered by those meta are going to shine. And that's why Everett, for most cases, like most players, is shining because none of them build percentage HP DPS, which is in my case, like in my account, I have tons of them. I built Intisar, I built Eve, I built Javid, I built every single percentage HP damage dealer. So I never have problem killing Everett and Jinju Yao. That's the thing. When I have JJ, so I want some crazy Tever like buff for him. Yeah, that's the thing. Everett always pairs up with Jinju Yao though. And that's the thing, when you fight against Jinju Yao and Everett, kill the Jinju Yao first. It's easy. Jinju Yao is easy to kill. For me, not for you. Yeah, that's right. Like this is the thing. This is your tank killer. You already like Dislyte, the developer team already give you the perfect tank killer. All of her skills deals percentage HP damage. What the hell? And nobody built her. While the meta currently is full of tank. And they now give you another one, Javid. This one also is a tank killer. Although he is not as good at killing Jinyu Yao compared to Intisar because his percentage speed damage is based on debuff and Jinyu Yao can easily remove debuff. And then now again you have other choices now, like like where's Meredith? Yeah, you also have Meredith. This is a tank killer. So there are lots of ways to kill tanks. It's just that not many people are using them. This one also is a tank killer. See what? And nobody ever built him. So yeah. Anyway, I don't have Raven or Cat, so I'm hyped for my R2 here. Yeah, exactly. So we are always going to, what to say? Not really whining. Like we are kind of like jealous, when someone else like a buff goes for espers that we don't have or we don't use, and we are going to be like extremely happy when the buffs is going our way. So for my friend Tamaki, who has R2 ever, like he is really happy for that ever buff. But for other people, like the ever buff is going to be insane. And especially the thing is that those who have Resonance 6 Tower are sitting in the top 10.4. So all those whales, they are going to be really happy with the Tower buffs because they are going to be able to one-shot anything as long as they have money. So it really is going to be a little bit pay to win now with the Tower buff. But I do hope in the future it won't be much of a problem because there are only a couple of people who have Resonance 6 ever, and he is really insane. I'm gonna show you why after this. So the Raven buff. So the passive, you do want to make use of her passive quite a lot. So you do want to pair her with some dispeller instead of her alone to make use of her passive. But otherwise, she is alright. This is a small buff to her because, like I said, Raven is the best. It's just that not many people are using her. So the developer are trying to increase her power little by little, as not to make her too OP because she is currently OP. but not many people realize that and use her, so they just gonna increase her power little by little. So yeah, this one, the third ability. The third ability, now the new one, dispels all debuffs from Raven, gains speed up. So Raven now gains speed up, which is really good that she also can make use of that speed into her attack now. And dispel all enemies buffs, and then attack all enemies, damage 120% attack. So see, the defense down is, how to say, like the order of the attack and defense down is swapped now. So last time she attack first and then dispel all buffs and then inflicts the defense down, but now in the new one she will dispel first and then attack, and then after that she will inflict the defense down. So it's the order of the dispelling and the attack which is changed, which is really good. Like now that if the enemy have like something like defense up, your attack no longer get reduced by the defense up. So that's Raven basically. And then Resonance 2 resets the cooldown for Sunset. Sleipnir is the third ability. Yeah, if you use the third ability, it will reset the cooldown of your passive, which is great. Like I said, like the passive has cooldown, so you do want to dispel the enemy without using Raven. Like you use another expert to dispel again to reduce the cooldown, but now she can reset her own cooldown if she use her third skill, which is good. And then the Resonance 6 is going to change the order of inflicting defense down, low. Yeah, and cannot be resisted when the target speed is not above Raven's. So this is great. Like her dispel already cannot be resisted, so now her defense down also cannot be resisted. So she is going to be really, really insane. Like I myself wish to have Raven. Like if I have a wish to get any Simmer legendary that I can have right now, I rather have Raven compared to Conluxi. So that's right. So now we're going to the main event here, the Tavern, not the main event. Like our main event are going to be Valeria, but we're going to Tavern here. Like everybody should have known like what he's going to do in here, but let me just show you how to say, like explain to you the order of things that is going to go with him. So in the first turn, Tavern is going to definitely use his third ability. So his third ability now dispels all buffs on one enemy, absorbs all their AP, which is going to be exactly the same as Brewster, and then attacks all enemies, attacks the enemy, damage 330% attacks. This is important because no Esper deals a single target hit damage above 270% in up until now, and now Tavern goes up from 230% attack to 330% attack, which is insane. This is like a hardest single hitting ability in the game. And then after that, because of his passive now, his second ability becomes passive, and it analyzes enemies at the start of Tavern's turn, marking the targets with the highest attack, highest defense, and highest maximum HP separately. And if you attack them, there's a bonus effect. So at the start of Tavern's turn, he will mark 3 enemies out of 5. So those 3 enemies will have the highest attack, highest defense, and maximum HP separately. And the thing is that it mentioned here that it is separately, so I'm imagining that, like for example, if the enemy have one Esper that has the highest attack and highest defense altogether, like he will not count towards getting 2 of this marker, I think. So yeah, I do need to try this in practice, or we will see later. And I don't know if the skill is already changed here. Let's see. Where is my tabber here? Where is tabber? Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to try this. Okay, so yeah. Oh, I can just read from here if the skill already changed here. Okay, okay. So let's see. Where's Raven? Where's Raven? There she is. Hey, so the passive have 4 turns cooldown and it cooldown reduced by 1 turn. So 3 turns cooldown. Like I said, yeah, I already expect this much. Like cooldown is gonna be 3 or 4 turns, and yeah, exactly the same as the one mentioned in the patch notes. So this is great. This is great. Look at the skills. Yeah. Yeah, so I already explained it, so now we're gonna go to Tabor. So in Tabor's case, like, he will mark the enemy at the start of Tabor's turn. It is separately, so I'm hoping that this, like, if an enemy have highest attack and highest defense altogether, like, it's not gonna have 2 markings on them. But there's an effect, like if you hit the highest attack, then 150% overkill damage is exactly the same as Lewis. When attacking the target with highest defense, you ignore 60% of their defense. And then if highest maximum HP, then true damage 600% attack. This is the insane one. Like, Never now becomes a tank killer with this skill. So gains necrosense for 1 turn upon killing a target. Enemy skill with Never can be revived. So critical damage plus 30%, chance of taking critical hits minus 100%, and resets all Never's ability cooldowns at the start of this turn. This is what's bothering me. Like, there's nothing that mentioned here that will remove his necrosense. Like, there's nothing that remove his necrosense. So I wonder, like, if this thing is on him permanently, that means that every single turn it will reset his cooldown, and that is impossible, right? Like, if you keep resetting this thing every single turn, that means that he will become really, really OP. So let's just try him in the VR battleground. Let's go. Oh yeah, let's just try the Raven first. Like, let us try Raven here. And I do want to try using something else. Like, we do want to separate this thing, you know, like each and every Esper. We're going to separate all of them. So let's go. So if I attack someone with my Clara, enemies that doesn't have any buffs, that means that I'm going to follow that up with Raven's second skill. So let's see. We're just gonna remove all these buffs and kablam. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn on the sound. There we go. Oh, he straight up follow her. Yeah, that's good, that's good. So her passive triggers straight away. So if she hits the enemy without any buffs herself, that means that she will also perform a pursuit attack. Yeah, it doesn't need to be someone else. It can also be herself. So this is insane. That means that in one single move, she will attack twice using her third ability and her second ability. So once this happens, like, you need a way to reduce the sunset cooldown, which is when an ally makes an enemy buff and early sunset cooldown minus 1 turn. But the thing is that once you use her third skill, like, nobody in the enemy team have any buffs, so this is quite hard to do. But nonetheless, it is a nice addition. Like, you can definitely make use of that. Yeah. So that's the thing going on with Raven. She is my favorite Simmer Esper. Really, really great. I wish I can have her in my real account. So let's go with Taver. So for Taver's case, like, at the start of the turn, you will mark 3 enemies. So we will see their stats. Like, this one have like HP. It's like the one with the highest defense is gonna be this uh, buff guy, 1000 defense. Yeah. Oh no, this one. This one have the highest defense. Yeah, yeah. This is the tanker, and this one will have the highest HP. Both of these guys, and this one should have the highest attack. Yeah, yeah. This guy, and this guy is the support. Yep. So we will see marking on him, on one of these two, and on him. Okay, so let's battle. Yeah, he got an Echo Sense, right, at the start of the turn. So we will see, there we go, the marking. What is it? Oh, there it is, the marking is swirling there. So it's not considered a debuff, so that means that there is no way the enemy can remove this marking. There is no way you can remove this marking. So what we do want to try is that what happens like this, it says here that, where is it? Where is it? Oh, I think it's on his... Wait. Do I need to increase his ascension? I think so. Let's see. Let's see. I do want to check first. Like his ascension should be telling him that if someone else is the one who attacked his target, then it's going to be pursuit. Is it? Wait, what's the difference? Oh, it only says that gain Echo Sense for 1 turn at the start of combat or upon killing a target, and then for 1 turn upon killing a target. Okay. But where is the one that says that he will follow, like his allies will follow up with the Echo Sense? I mean the pursuit. Oh, this one. Yeah. When the marked enemies takes a hit, the Trevor performs a pursuit attack with this ability. Triggers once per turn. This is what we need to test, you know, because this thing is going to be insanely OP. The thing is that it doesn't mention here whether the marked enemy takes a hit from Trevor or his friend. So that means that if Trevor himself attacked the enemy with this ability, he should be performing a pursuit attack with his first skill. Yeah. So he will use his third ability, Kablan, and then this passive will trigger, and then after that he will pursue again with his first skill. That is Trevor Resonance 6. Which is insane. In a single turn, you use all 3 of his abilities. Yeah, that is too much, guys. That is too much. So let's just see. Let's just see the damage here. Let's go. Okay, so it's marked. This is the highest attack. This is the highest health. This is the highest defense. So you can see it from the color code here. So let's try hitting the health first. I do want to see the true damage. Let's see.
With everything accounted for and connections made, the culprit has to be you.
16,000. Okay. Like that is only one hit. Like, did we trigger the Echo analysis? Wait, did we trigger this? Deals extra true damage. Yeah, it should be another hit Let's try again. Yeah, it doesn't count as an extra hit. Like it might be built into his own hit. Like let's see. It's easy to test this because we have these two guys who has the same HP. So I do want to try hitting the other guy now. Let's see how much damage we deal. Okay, so if we manage to reduce his health to like 80%, that means that this guy, yeah, so that's the true damage. Like we see, like it's built into his attack. So it's not an extra hit. It's built into his own attack. So this is 350% attack. So this 600% attack will be added to that 350% attack, and it will count into the total, and it will just only one single hit. So yeah, so let's go hit the one with the defense. So this should be like ignore defense, and this one should be like, you know, the overkill one. Let's go. If we hit the guy with the highest attack, I do want to see the overkill damage. So let's see this one, overkill. Yeah, that's the thing. Like the thing is that his number is just too high because this overkill damage is 150%, which in Lewis' case, Lewis only deal like 50%. You know, Lewis, where's Lewis? Lewis here. So Lewis at Resonance 6 only deals 50% of overkill damage. So that's why Trevor right now is insanely good. Like if you have a DPS, and that's the problem. Like in Point War, a lot of players, if they build a DPS, they totally ignore HP. None of them build HP on their DPS. Like they just go for the highest attack bonus, critical rate, and critical damage. None of them have HP. So with Trevor here, like if you see an enemy Gaius, he can just shoot that enemy Gaius, and that's it. Like the entire enemy team will die. Yeah, that's Trevor. So we already see his abilities here. So that's just it. Like this one, really great, and this one is insane. Yeah, so let's go for the next one. So the next one is going to be this one. TA. So TA is just becoming like a smaller version of Chang-Chi. Like her third skill, the highlight of her change here is that her third skill now swap AP for your lowest AP ally to the enemy with the highest AP. So this is just exactly like her third skill is exactly the same as Chang-Chi's third skill with a bonus of absorbing the 30% of each enemy's AP and share it equally among allies. But the thing is that the thing that I want to tell you guys, like that one is good, like the AP swap is good, but the highlight is this. TA now dispel one buff from the enemy. This one. It now dispels one buff from each enemy. This is the most important one, not this one, because this one will make you like need to change your equipment, like you need to change your lineup, because this will mess up your lineup definitely. Like I myself, if I use TA in my lineup, like I use TA, Javid, Ashley, Gaius, and Ethan right now in my Point War. And the thing is that if TA trigger her third skill here and swap my lowest AP ally to move next to the enemy with the highest AP, it will mess with my turn order. So this thing is not really, I'm not really fond of this change, the AP swap, But I really love this one, the Dispel 1 buff from Legendary, because this means that enemy cannot block my TA using Light Mui anymore. The light above equipment, this one. The enemy can no longer use, where is light above? This one, yeah. The enemy cannot use light equipment anymore to stop TA from absorbing their AP. This is the biggest advantage TA have with this change, you know, the Dispel 1 buff. So there is no way for you to block TA now. And after that, this one. If an enemy's speed is not above TS, which is insane, like TA is definitely gonna have a really high speed, so she will absorb 10% of their AP. So once you use the third skill, it will absorb AP from the enemy, which make her move faster for the next turn. And then after she stun all of them, she will also steal their AP, and now she will move again after she use her third skill and second skill, and then she will steal AP again, and so far so on. Like, she will keep on moving if you give her enough speed and accuracy now. So that's the highlight of her changes here. Yeah, the biggest one, the best one is the Dispel. This is insane. Yeah. So that is TA. And now let's go next to the. So yeah, I'm just gonna highlight the biggest advantage from each of these changes, so not to take too much time. So the Fatum Sister have a quite nice like buff, but it doesn't really consider a nice buff. You know, like it is a buff. But because of the nature of Fatum Sister, like the developer wants to make Fatum Sister to be a jack of all trades, so she is not going to specialize in any position, but she can do everything. So the highlight in her change is that she can now inflict miss straight up using her third skill, and then also she is going to be able to revive allies. So here at Resonance 2, it's new. The new effect Sparkling States. At Resonance 2, Fatum Sister can now revive fallen ally and then healing 1% of their maximum HP. Yeah, let's just go to the Fatum Sister. We will just go to the Fatum Sister and see her skill from here. Here it is. Okay. So here, normally her second skill dispels all debuffs from one ally, grants them invincibility, heals all allies, and then grants speed up to all allies for 2 turns. But now if you have her, like if you are unlucky enough before this to get her to Resonance 2, then the Sparkling Stage max cooldown plus 2 turns. Now, like the maximum cooldown is gets increased by 2 turns, but now you can select a fallen ally and revive them with 1% of their maximum HP if the ally has not fallen. Ability cooldown of Sparkling Stage minus 2 turns. And the thing is that all the other effects that she has on the Sparkling Stage here is going to apply on that ally. So now that you revive your ally, you grant them invincibility, which makes them survive, being like, you know, having like 1% HP, and then after that it heals them to 15%, so it's quite okay, like it's not gonna stay in the 1%, and then grant speed up to all allies. So she is really good pair now with Chang-Chi, you know. So she has a use now. So being able to have like the fastest captain ability in PvE content here, like now you can make use of her and pair her up with Chang-Chi, because now she can resurrect allies and leave them at very low health and put them in invincibility state, So you can swap their HP using your Chang-Chi, and it will make for a nice good combo. That is the highlight for Fatum Sister. But then again, Fatum Sister, as a jack of all trades, like, you probably rather bring someone else rather than bringing Fatum Sister. But now you can have so many options now. You can pair your Chang-Chi with Fatum Sister, with Abigail, with Luoyan, with all the reviver, all the people that can resurrect. They can all be paired together with Chang-Chi, and they make a lot of them now. Now the Elliot, this is a nerf for me, but this is a buff for all of you guys. Because before this, if you want to build your Elliot, which I've already mentioned a lot of times in all of my videos, if you want to build your Elliot, don't build him as a tank, because his ability deals 270% attack. Where is it? Yeah, before this, his ability deals 270% attack. But with the new change, it makes his ability now use his maximum HP, which is a nerf for me, because this won't deal that much damage. But the good thing is that he is now more of a controller, because now he attacks 2 enemies, so he will attack just like Jiangman, and it will extend all their ability cooldowns to the maximum number of turns and dispel all buffs, and then it flicks stun. So using his third ability, he will be able to hit 2 enemies now, which is insane. Like, he can now fulfill the role of controller slash DPS now, but with a much lower damage. Because I do like him more when he deals 270% attack damage before this change. But yeah, it depends on the people who use him. Like, most of the videos about him is that, the guy who is always wrong, like, he has his Elliot to Resonance 6 and he used him wrong, and he showed to the whole world that he is wrong, and he said that Elliot sucks, and that's it. The developer just eat his words. Even though I know how to build him really, really good before this change, but now I will never have the chance to, showcase to you guys like Elliot with full attack damage. Too bad. But anyway, yeah, it's a nice change. Like, a lot of people can now make use of Elliot. Definitely will become a beast in Holo Battle, where you only have 3 enemies, and this thing will disable 2 of them. Disabling 2 out of 3 enemies is really insane in Holo Battle. So next one is Bonnie. So yeah, Bonnie only changed, like, instead of increasing ability cooldowns upon successfully inflicting stun, its hit extends all ability cooldowns of the target by 1 turn. So yeah, I think this thing hits 2 times, so you can extend ability cooldowns by 2 turns on the enemy. So it's a nice little buff for Bonnie, so she will have more use in the future, like if you do need to increase the enemy's ability cooldown. But all in all, it's not a game-changing buff. The one that is really good right now is Luoyan. Luoyan now have a totally different playstyle. So usually, like, this has pros and cons. Like, it has its advantage and disadvantage. Like, imagine this, like, if you already read all these things, like the Luoyan change, before the change, Luoyan can give Death Tome to 2 allies. Luoyan can give Death Tome to 2 allies, and as long as you cannot kill those 2 allies, not 2 allies, like he himself and 1 other ally, like, if you cannot kill any of those 2 fast enough, Luoyan will keep on giving the Death Tome to his allies, and it will be really troublesome. So like here, imagine, like, if Luoyan give Death Tome to Gaius, I'm gonna silence it like this. This is like distracting. So imagine, like before this, Luoyan will give that tome to himself and then one ally. So let's say Gaius. Gaius get the death tome, and then if you want to kill Gaius, that means that you need to kill him twice. And as long as Gaius doesn't die, like once you kill him once and he doesn't die the next turn, then Luoyan can give the death tome again to Gaius and Gaius will never ever die. And the same thing happen if you try to kill Luoyan first, he will have his own death tome and so you need to kill him twice. But after someone die, like if you manage to kill Gaius twice, Luoyan cannot do anything after that. So in order to counter the death tome, you need fast enough speed to kill someone 2 times. But that is really troublesome if Luoyan is paired into a tank team. So let's say the one that gets the death tome is Jin Yu Yao. If Jin Yu Yao gets the death tome, you will be having a really hard time to kill that Jin Yu Yao. And if Jin Yu Yao get the death tome at 100% HP, and then you manage to reduce his HP to her HP to like 10%, and then the death tome trigger, she will go back to 100% HP. That is the strength of the death tome. So if the death tome is given to someone who is really tanky, that Esper will never ever die. So the change is now is kind of like a nerf to the death tome. You can no longer give death tome to his allies, and instead the death tome is only for Luoyan himself now. And the change is that as long as Luoyan have the death tome, he can resurrect his ally. So that's the change, you know. So the thing is that you, like, as long as Luoyan is alive, like, he can keep on reviving his allies, because the death tome will keep on refreshing as long as someone dies. Where is it? I think it's in his Ascension, maybe? No, it's in his Resonance. Yeah. If without Death Tome, when an ally falls, Luoyan gains Death Tome, triggers once per battle. So when his ally falls, like Luoyan will gain another Death Tome. So if you if Luoyan, wait, Death Tome is a golden buff, right? Yeah, Death Tome is a golden buff. So there is no way for you to remove this. But if you manage to kill Luoyan once, and then you kill his allies, Luoyan will get his Death Tome back again. So the good news is that, like, if you are against Luoyan, the good news is that now it's easier to kill his allies now if you are fighting against Luoyan, because his allies will no longer have the Death Tome. But then Luoyan can revive that allies instead, and you need to kill Luoyan twice because he himself will have the Death Tome in order for you to kill his allies. So it's a pros and cons, you know. So usually before Luoyan have this balance changing, you can just ignore Luoyan totally and just kill his ally twice. But now you cannot ignore Luoyan. With this change, you need to kill Luoyan twice in order for you to kill his allies. So that's the biggest change to Luoyan plays now. Yeah. So he won't be as OP as before, because before this I usually use Luoyan in a tank team and give the Death Tome to someone like Jin Yu Yao, and my Jin Yu Yao will never ever die. But now I can no longer do that, and now I need to make my own Luoyan be really tanky, so that the enemy will have a hard time to kill my Luoyan first before they manage to kill any of my allies, because now Luoyan can start reviving his allies. That's the biggest change to Luoyan. So yeah, all in all, the balance change is really good. And the last one is Aurelius. It just increased his damage like he becomes a DPS version of Long Yan. So now he can reduce the enemy speed with speed down, and he get bonus hit if the enemy have speed down. That's basically the summary of his changes. So the best thing about Aurelius now is that in Infinite Tower, where you cannot reduce the enemy's AP, but you can stun them. Like there are certain stages which have that trait, like you can stun the enemy, but you cannot give AP down to the enemy. That's the time where you want to bring Aurelius instead of Longyan, because if you bring Longyan, usually most of the time you can make use of his priest, but you cannot use Longyan's second skill because the enemy cannot get their AP reduced. But now you can bring Aurelius. He do the exact same thing as Longyan with his third skill, but now Aurelius can instead deal damage to those enemies with his second skill. So those are all the changes. Now we are going to the main event, which is this one. Where is it? Where is the bird? Where is the bird? There she is. Let's go for Ascension. So the Ascension is speed plus 5, critical rate plus 10%, and attack plus 20%. Not exactly what I have in mind, because she is like someone that I wish to have insane amount of speed, but apparently she has attack up in her captain ability, like 30%, which is quite alright, but we already have a lot of replacement like Javid do the same thing, Ashley do the same thing, so so yeah, her captain ability is so, it's alright, and the speed is also not really exciting, like I wish the speed is going to be in there, so it's gonna increase her speed by 10, but apparently we cannot wish for that. Yeah, so let's just assemble this. So I'm gonna increase her skill, her ascension until the third one here. What's the difference? Oh, clears the enemy's AP. Okay, that's the difference. Hey. So yeah, she is insanely good. Like she is going to be your sender replacement. I thought when Mateo first came out, like I thought he will be the one that will be like your choice for single target DPS esper, but apparently he is more of like a support, like a secondary support DPS single target damage dealer. So now you have your Valeria, which is going to be the same, doing like the same exact job as your sender. So if you do want to make full use of your Valeria, you do want to pair her up with someone who do the exact same thing to support sender, which is like someone like Sienna, probably the one that increase attack and speed up at the same time. So let's try Valeria in the VR battleground. Let's see Valeria. There we go. Wait, the enemy is at level 30. Wait, I need to change that. I do want to keep the enemy at level 60. Hey. Okay, let's see. So yeah, grants 1% extra damage, passive. This thing is what I want to see, like the snake shape and the power reserve. So yeah, like I said in my patch notes video, like the previous video, the power reserve damage taken minus 50% as expected. I already mentioned this. Is going to be the same as Asenat, but the good news is that this is passive. So every time Valeria gets a turn, she will give this power reserve to herself, and on resonance 2, this power reserve will be given to all of her allies, which is going to be insane. And I reckon that when power reserve effects are triggered, her AP plus 20%. So if you give this power reserve to all of her allies, it will give her 100% AP, which is insane. That is insane. And this one, the damage is alright, 110% attack, and its speed grants extra damage. But the good thing is that this snake shape also gives another 30% basic ability damage, which is going to be this one. And it doesn't mention here that it increased by attack, so this is a 30% increase on the final damage after counting the defense and damage mitigation of the enemy. So, and then the last number will be increased by 30%. And that is huge. That is huge. My god, I love the animation. And also the little background music when she is doing that, you know. So she is going to be insanely good at Resonance 2. And definitely really useful in both speed team and also tank team. Look at that, she already gained her power reserve again. Yeah, the power reserve buff again. So she will be moving really fast throughout the battle, and she will be able to keep giving your allies that power reserve thingy. So I myself do want to take Valeria, but I don't think I have enough. I don't have enough Echo record, Golden record to do that. So I do hope to be able to someday get Valeria to Resonance 2, because she is going to be like your best single target DPS and secondary DPS in your lineup, replacing Esper like Sander, Brewster, and Odette, Elliot, and Jinhe, all those single target secondary DPS Esper, and also Jimmy. She is, for my case, like she is much better than Jimmy, because for Jimmy's case, like she is strong by herself. Like if the enemy is, attacks Genie, then they will receive a counter attack damage. But as long as the enemy ignores your Genie, Genie doesn't pose much threat to the enemy. You know, like you can just stun Genie, and that's it. She won't be able to attack the enemy. Like if Genie is on the enemy lineup, then you can just stun Genie and she won't be able to do anything to you. And Genie, in most cases, like most players, build Genie with full attack, which is a mistake. And in most of the time, Genie will be easily killed, the enemy Genie. So you can easily kill Genie, and she doesn't really counter attack damage that much unless she survives for a very long time. So you don't need to worry about Genie that much. But it's a different case about Valeria. If you ignore Valeria, she will keep on giving this power reserve to all her allies if she is at Resonance 2, which makes it harder for you to kill all of her allies. So you do need to pay some attention to Valeria, which is going to be troublesome, and that is her biggest advantage as an Esper in your lineup. Yeah, so that's Valeria. It's quite straightforward, like there is nothing much to test on Valeria, you know. Or the only thing that I wanted to test is this one, like the snake shape and power reserve, like when on time, like it will come out. So let's see. We're going to try using Avatara, which is what I already mentioned in my Pets Note video. Like if you equip Avatara to Valeria, will she gain her passive buffs when she counterattack, or is it not gonna happen? And for this one, I do want to try with Astralis. Yeah, I don't have Astralis. Yeah, I don't have Astral Witchcraft. I probably need to grind that one first. So let's go. Hey, it doesn't trigger her passive, so that's it. That settles it. So her passive only triggers at the end of her turn. Yeah, so that settles it. So it's probably gonna be the same for Astral Witchcraft. Like Astral Witchcraft, like perform a little bit similar to Avatara. So it also won't trigger her passive if you trigger her Avatara. But the good news is that if you have her at Resonance 6, this one, if you have her at Resonance 6, then you definitely do want to give Valeria the Avatara and Astral Witchcraft, because the more she uses her first ability, the more she has chance to gain an extra turn. So this is the biggest advantage for her. Like as how every Esper perform, like the Resonance 6 is their biggest power spike in most cases. So her biggest power spike is this, definitely. Yeah. So it needs to be at the end of Valeria's turn, not when she counters using Avatara. So yeah, that settles it. So she is straightforward, really good, really strong. Definitely the same playstyle as how you gonna use your sender. But too bad her captain ability is attack. So yeah, that settles it. I will kind of like, in terms of importance, like whether if you want to think about like whether do you need this Valeria or not, I will say in terms of importance, she will be around that 6 or 7 out of 10. Like you can still go by with your life without Valeria, but if you do have Valeria, she will increase your what's the word, like will make your life much easier by around like half, I would say. So that's where the 6 or 7 out of 10. Yeah, definitely really solid. And the one that I'm really excited to test is this one, Alolin. He is the one that I'm more excited about, you know, because he is insane. Like Alolin is insane here. Let's see. Okay, now it gains stealth. Yeah, so it gives him stealth. Okay, so the Ascension gives him stealth, and then the other Ascension, this one is HP, this one is speed, and this one attack 20%. This is important, the speed, because you do want your Alolin to move before your Camille move. So I do want to test Camille too. Where's Camille? There she is. Okay. So yeah. So I'm most likely gonna be using more of Alolin compared to Valeria, because Alolin is going to pair really well with Camille, and that is his biggest advantage. So let's go. Where is it? Here. Not this one. VR better. So yeah, we already tested that. We're gonna test Alolin now and Camille. Where's Camille? There she is. Hey, there we go. The speed is also nice, but I do want to have Clara, just in case. Hey. Okay. So Alolin's gonna move first, so he is going to apply bleed to all of his enemies. Each hit inflicts bleed and it hits 3 times, so you will give 3 stacks of bleed per enemies, which is going to strengthen your Camille damage by a lot. This is what I'm really excited about the Alolin, you know. So that's why I'm definitely gonna like fully build on Alolin rather than fully build on Valeria, because I most likely not gonna get Valeria anyway. So this is what I'm more excited about. And also for most cases, like for most of you players out there, you should start building your Alolin, because now most of you are going to be near Resonance 6 Camille if you are doing your quest diligently. Like, you should be already get your Resonance 6 Camille, or you're probably near the Resonance 6 Camille, like probably at Resonance 5 or Resonance 4. So these two are going to pair really well, like very good. If an enemy makes their allies bleed, an early all of Alolin's ability cooldowns -1 turns, triggers once per turn. And his ability is only have like 4 turns cooldown. So if the enemy manages to cleanse the bleed, he will get his third skill cooldown much faster, which make him able to give more bleed to the enemy, which in many cases are going to keep on increasing both Camille and also Alolin's damage, because Alolin can also explode the bleed by his own basic attack. So let's go with this. Up. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. Kablam! Look at that! 3 stacks of bleed, which I don't know why this one doesn't have any bleed, but we're going to explode all those bleed damage. Yeah, with this. Too bad I cannot test Resonance 6 Camille, because at Resonance 6 Camille I can inflict Sear and Bleed on all enemies for 2 turns, which is going to add another stack of bleed, which makes them have like 4 stacks of bleed. And then if you manage to inflict the Sear on the enemy, it's going to be another bleed, which goes up to 5 stacks of bleed. And with the second skill, she will explode all those bleed as damage. This is going to deal insane amount of damage if we have the equipment. So let's try seeing the damage now. Wait, it doesn't explode? Wait, what? Why it doesn't explode? Oh, it reduced the cooldown by 1 turn? Wait, what? It doesn't? Wait. It doesn't reduce the cooldown? Oh, I probably need accuracy. Okay. Like multiple every damage takes time. Yeah, I probably need accuracy for that. Okay. Yeah, I rarely use Camille myself, because before Resonance 6, Camille is kind of like not really good to use, so I haven't tried my Camille because I haven't got Camille to Resonance 6. But once I got her to Resonance 6, I'm gonna use this combo mostly in many situations. Definitely in the PvP, like if I want to kill the enemy really fast, I'm going to use this kind of lineup. Yeah, that one, and then Ashley, and then where is Ethan? Oh yeah, I don't have Ethan in here. Yeah, the last one is Ethan. So that's it. This is going to be my lineup in Point War. If I do want to make use of both of them, because Ashley is going to give attack up to these two, and then also give a percentage HP damage, and then Ethan is going to give defense down on all the enemies, and then Alolin's gonna give a lot of bleed damage, like bleed debuffs on the enemy, and Camille are going to explode all those bleed debuffs, and it will deal insane amount of damage. So let's give her some accuracy, I guess. Let's see, do I have accuracy relic in here? Yeah, I do have. So let's try enhancing this to 9. Only 12%, what the hell? Yeah, we're probably not gonna be able to see her damage this way, but you get what I'm trying to do, you know? You get what I'm trying to do. So yeah, let's just try this. Oh yeah, I can just use you know, recurve rally. Wait, let's see. Where is recurve? Okay. That will probably help a little bit. So let's see. Okay. Give attack up and also the percentage speed damage. And then AP down all of them. Blame. Yeah. And then we're going to give bleed debuffs on all of them. Blame. Yeah, Alolin have a really good accuracy. You know, I don't have any equipment on Alolin, which means that he have 0% accuracy, but he still inflicts bleed debuffs on most of the enemies here. That is really good. So Alolin definitely is going to be my favorite epic espers, and especially that it dispel one buff from each enemy. So now I can have another option aside from Tricky when I want to dispel the enemy's buffs, which is going to be Alolin, and he will be really useful in the tower, like Infinite Tower and also the other tower. So now let's try exploding this bleed as damage. Let's see. Yeah, it does explode for some of them. So it deals insane amount of damage. Look at that. For the ones that explode, it deals insane amount of damage. For the ones who doesn't explode, it's all right. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to have Alolin like bleed damage. Yeah, I already mentioned like the advantage and disadvantage of bleed in my previous video, but I do want to explain to you again here, which is that in a battle where the enemy have insane amount of HP, you do want to have poison, right? You do want to use poison because poison deals percentage HP damage to the enemy, and that makes bleed like inferior to poison before Alolin and Camille comes out. And now all this time, like, I wish to have a poison explosion kind of skill, but we probably won't have that fulfilled anytime soon, because that will make poison really OP, because aside from the percentage HP damage, now you can just explode that percentage HP damage and kill the enemy instantly. Because if you have 12 stacks of poison debuffs on the enemy, and if you explode all of them, it will deal 100% of the enemy's maximum HP as damage, which is going to be insane. But they make the explosion goes to the bleed here. So bleed, which deals damage based on the caster's attack, is inferior in terms of damage against the poison debuff. But now you can explode that bleed to deal damage much faster than when they took damage from poison. So that's pros and cons of using poison and bleed damage. So in many cases, if you go into a PvE content and you fight against enemies who are very tanky, you do want to use poison damage. But if you fight against enemies who are like, you know, much or less the same level as you, then you do want to explode the bleed damage using these two combo Alolin and Camille. So yeah, that's all the tests that I want to try in this PTR testing. Hope you guys enjoy it and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.